The best way you can support me is with a simple subscribe. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this. All right, here's a breaking news announcement. Early this morning, Carmelo Anthony has told the New York Knicks that he is willing to waive his no trade clause if a trade were to send him to the Houston Rockets or the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is a huge development. This is not just a small minor development. We're going to get way in depth into this. All right, and this is a legit source. This is Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN, newly hired Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN. This is a legit source, so let's not think this is just some stuff coming out of the woodworks. If he reports it, 9 times out of 10 is as accurate as it could be. All right, this is a stunning development. I thought Carmelo Anthony was bound to be a New York Knick after Phil Jackson left or was let go last week, but reportedly, even though they're without a GM or a VP right now, James Dolan and company still want to move in another direction. Remember, one reason why they let Phil Jackson go was because of the lack of relationship he had with Carmelo Anthony, and now the lack of relationship he was growing with Kristaps Porzingis, a guy that Phil Jackson took a chance on, and it actually worked out. He ruined the relationship with Kristaps Porzingis. So that's one reason why the Knicks were going in another direction with Phil Jackson. But after Phil left, a lot of people were like, okay, Carmelo's going to stay. Again, he has that full no trade clause, so any trade he would have to approve. We understand the dynamics of Carmelo Anthony and his kid growing up there, and he's trying to save his marriage with alleged cheating allegations with his wife Lala. She shoots her show in New York. If I'm fighting for my marriage, the last thing I want to do is leave where my wife's at this point. I don't want my wife having any alone time right now or any more time to get around them damn friends. Fellas, y'all know when we mess up, them damn friends be the death of us, all right? So we were thinking Carmelo was going to stick around in New York, but the Knicks are still looking to get rid of Carmelo's contract, buy him out. They don't want to do the buyout, but they definitely are looking to trade him. And I think this is the right move. You still don't want to go forward with Carmelo Anthony because the reality of the situation is, regardless of what Melo has on his side from bad ownership or whatever you want to give the Knicks the blame for, Carmelo Anthony had him and Kristaps Porzingis last year. That was enough to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, and they didn't do that. I'm not giving him a pass for that. Let's not forget that if Carmelo Anthony's a top 10, top 15, top 20 player, I don't believe he's a top 37 NBA player. That's just me. If he's one of these top guys, how are you not making the playoffs in the Eastern Conference? You had enough. You had enough last year to at least. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not making the playoffs. With that New York Knicks team, had more than enough. So the Knicks are looking to go in the opposite direction because it just didn't work out with Carmelo. We now know that he can't be a #1 guy on your team if you're looking for to make a championship push. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he could be the #2 guy. If I'm going after Carmelo right now, he should be a #3 guy on a team, a close #2, but definitely a #3. He can be that for your team if you're looking to build a championship team. It's just my opinion right now. If I got a guy like Klay Thompson as a third option, scoring the basketball on Golden State, Melo can definitely be the third option on a Cavs or Houston Rockets team. All right, so he's told the New York Knicks management that he's willing to go to a team. If it's Cleveland or Houston, he's going to waive that no trade clause. And I think this is a huge development because Melo is somebody who's ruined a lot of stuff in the past. Remember, a long time ago, way back yonder, when LeBron was in Cleveland the first time around and D-Wade was in Miami in one of the earlier years, and Melo was in Denver, LeBron got on the phone and told D-Wade, and he told Chris Bosh, who was in Toronto at the time, he was like, look, and he told Melo as well, he was like, look, don't sign the long-term extension right now. Wait it out. We'll be free agents together, and we can try to play together. Remember, LeBron wanted to play with Carmelo and D-Wade at first. He didn't want to play with Chris Bosh. He wanted Melo and Wade together in Miami. Melo went and signed a longer extension, and he wasn't a free agent the same year that D-Wade, Chris Bosh, and Bron was. The summer LeBron took his talent to Miami, and he ruined that opportunity. And LeBron, he really wanted to play with Carmelo Anthony. Melo, and back when he was a free agent, when he finally became a free agent, after his first stint with the New York Knicks, before he had free agency with them, he had the opportunity to sign with a Chicago Bulls team. That was Melo who decided not to sign with that Chicago Bulls team, who might I add would have had Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Carmelo Anthony, and Pau Gasol and Joakim Noah in a better spot. All right, that was Melo who didn't want to sign in Chicago. He stayed with the Knicks, and his team has made the playoffs once since he signed that extension, I believe, or signed that new deal with New York. So I just don't look at Melo as somebody who makes wise decisions. The fact that Melo is at a point where he wants to get moved is very telling. I don't know if Chris Paul or LeBron James has picked up the phone to talk to Carmelo Anthony. I've been told that LeBron James isn't recruiting right now, but Chris Paul and James Harden are recruiting right now. The problem with Houston is it's going to be way more difficult to make a trade. The only viable piece they have is Ryan Anderson. I believe he's on a 3-year, $61 million contract, and the Knicks are not interested in trading Carmelo Anthony for Ryan Anderson. Can you blame them? You just probably rather keep disgruntled Carmelo Anthony on your roster if you're going to trade him for Ryan Anderson. They just don't have a lot of pieces. So I think that Houston trade is going to be kind of hard to make. And the Knicks are saying that they're not going to want to buy Carmelo Anthony out and get nothing back in return and still pay him money over years. The Cleveland trade could happen. Again, Kevin Love is a piece that's going to be on the market for the Cavs up until the next whenever. However long this team is together, Kevin Love is always going to be the piece that's available. Tristan Thompson's value in the market is not that good. J.R. Smith's value in the market is not that good. These are the guys making money. Kyrie Irving is somebody I don't look at the Cavs as somebody that they're going to trade. Of course, they're not trading LeBron James. So it all boils back down to Kevin Love, 29, 30 years old, still a viable starter in this league. And I think, in my heart of hearts, if this thing with Melo is serious and he wants to get traded, and he'll waive his no-trade clause if he can get to Cleveland, I think this Kevin Love for Carmelo Anthony trade could happen in the next week or two. I believe that. Maybe a little later in the summer, but I think this could happen, all right? Carmelo Anthony reportedly has told the New York Knicks that he would be willing to waive his no-trade clause if you can get him with one of his friends, either Chris Paul in Houston or LeBron James in Cleveland. Talk to me in the comment box below. Also worth noting, LeBron has openly said he's not recruiting right now. All right, he's not recruiting for the Cavs this summer like he has done in the past, quote-unquote recruit. And we'll see if LeBron makes the phone call to Carmelo Anthony. Talk to me, comment box below. Thank y'all so much for the love. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com. Again, that's booking@itsmrtaliaferro.com.